How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Feels like a little while. I can't lie, I was getting into the groove of these lives before I went over to Cyprus, but the internet out there didn't allow me to do what I need to do for the community. But I still hit up a few breaking news videos, people. I still had to jump out the pool a few times, either fuming or joyous with some news. Either way, you watched it over the weekend. Saturday MADUEKE, Sunday Yakarez, and whatever's falling out after we'll talk about now, people. But obviously live's a bit different to breaking news. Live's about you lot as much as it's about me, and it's the community. It's one mic live, it's one mic, it's your voice, it's my voice, and we talk. So hit the like button, people, if you haven't done so already. And if you haven't done so already, go over to my welcome video for Zubamendi. How's my welcome for Kepa doing? It's slightly better than my welcome video for Zubamendi. What is 29 seconds enough? Maybe that is the way forward. I know I need to welcome Norgard soon as well, so I'll have to consider how long I make that one. But yeah, watch that video if you haven't. Hit the like button on that video if you haven't. It's close to 1,000 likes, so that'll help the algorithm. But yeah, we're here right now, people. So love for the love if you're here. Already over 500 of you here. So yeah, maybe it's an eagerly anticipated live. It is for me anyway. Like I said, I've been enjoying these, especially picking up the pace of them before I went away, and I hope to continue that pace that I left behind now that I'm back. But then obviously there's a pre-season tour that I'll probably be attending in less than a couple of weeks now. When I look at the date 9th, they'll be playing on the 23rd. So yeah, probably 11, 12 days left in the UK before I fly out again. And maybe the internet over there will hold for lives, but if it doesn't, then I'll obviously make sure that, you know, the breaking news is breaking news. Big up the community. There's already a super chat in there from like an hour ago. I'll get that one in from Jenna, but obviously, regardless, super chat or not, we're going to talk, people. It's been turbulent, to say the least, right? Is it just me? Was it the heat getting to me over in Cyprus that caused the highs and the lows, or the lows and then the high, however you want to look at it? Very different feelings behind the MADUEKE news, and very different feeling behind the GYOKERES news. But woken up today, finished Forever Arsenal. That'll be out soon. So people asking about that. Yeah, we recorded it without James. He's over in Barcelona, I believe, right now. So we're 3-man up on the Forever Arsenal pod, but it's summer, it's pre-season. I mean, it's not just the players that get a break. I mean, it's nice for the panel and the people that talk in front of cameras for the majority of the year to get a little break themselves. A different break, you know, not exactly the most physical of work we do, but a break nonetheless. Sometimes you've got to, you know, rest the mind and come back better. And I've come back, nice little tan there as well. Yeah, but that'll be gone soon. Well, I say gone soon. Singapore's hot as well, so yeah, this will be gone by the winter. But yeah, I'll enjoy it whilst it lasts. Big up the Suj. Come on. Hopefully you're well, my bro. Hopefully you're well. We'll talk anyway. Big up Ryan, Benji, Osman. When you link in shore for the little OGs, yeah. I mean, soon come. My little one's still very rebellious. You ask him to take a picture, he turns around. You ask him to smile, he'll frown. So at this moment in time, he's not ready for this YouTube world yet. But don't worry, man. We'll get that sorted soon enough. I've tried to do a couple of vlogs with him, taking him to Minecraft premiere a couple of months ago. That vlog didn't work out. Halfway through, I had to, you know, put the camera away and focus on daddy duties. And then I took him to the Minecraft experience. He loves Minecraft, people. Minecraft, if you see his room, Lego, Minecraft all over the gaff. All over the gaff. If you've got kids, though, Lego is a very good tool or toy, whatever you call it, in terms of, yeah, getting your kids' mind working and building and reading instructions step by step to achieve the ultimate goal, and that's finishing what it looks like on the box. Sorry, I got a message. Let me put my phone away. I've been away for 2 weeks. I got to focus on you. All right, 1.2K in the building. Come on. Expensive, Taylor. It very much is an expensive. I mean, South Africa, the price of Lego, because of the currency, I mean, that was sweet. I should have probably bought more. In Cyprus, especially North Cyprus, because yeah, the way the money's gone over in Turkey, it affects North Cyprus too in terms of Turkish lira, and yeah, they're charging euros and pounds now, trying to skirt around the issue. So yeah, bought him Lego out there as well, and I actually bought Lego with me out there, so he could, you know, play around. Within 4 days, he's finished his 2 Legos because, yeah, I let him stay up late. It's summer, and he's starting school in September. So that whole, you know, bed by 8:30 p.m. that'll come in real soon, real soon. But yeah, we're here to talk, people. It's probably gonna go back over topics that I talked about in the breaking news, but like I said, this is a bit different. I want to get your thoughts on it all as well. And first and foremost, obviously, Yakarez is the main dish that we are here to talk about. And I can see, or I saw a lot of disrepute about it. You know, worry that the deal might be done, or joy from the opposition fans that the deal might not be done. But yeah, I haven't really heard much to be worried that we've taken any steps back. I know apparently we are haggling over a couple million, you know, the Arsenal way. But I'm not too worried about a deal not getting done. I mean, it's the closest we can get before we see Fabrizio talking about here. I mean, he went on his phone and said, "Soon, here we go." So, you know, he got the pre-assist for his own "Here we go," which should be out soon enough anyway. But get it done. Let's get him onto the preseason tour. Let's get him used to the team, and let's get him starting by game week 1, because a lot of people are saying he won't be starting game week 1 regardless. But if he's not starting game week 1, then, you know, I wouldn't say it's a worry, but it'd be very silly, especially when you consider United away. All right, it's if United that finished 15th, but if they're getting Boma over the line as well as Cunha already having come in, that's 2 big threats that we know all about as Arsenal fans. Two quality players, but that's if they get Boma over the line. Yakarez has stalled, says Julian. I mean, stalled. Again, I haven't seen, you know, much, just unless it's Fabrizio or Ornstein. Has Fabrizio or Ornstein said anything since, you know, the "soon here we go"? Not too sure. Not too sure. I think it's just all the, you know, the murmurs around and the Indonos that are trying to beat the curve. I mean, some of them have already said done deal, and they're backtracking and saying, "I didn't mean done deal," or "I did mean done deal," but Sporting all of a sudden demanded more. Whether it's 65 or 70 M, people, it wasn't long ago that his release clause was 100 million euros. I'm talking January here. And, you know, judging by the goal scoring record and exactly what we need into this team, I would have broke that release clause. You know, what's 100 million euros, 80 million. So if we're getting him for 65, 70 M's, and that's even euros we're talking again. So it's a bit less, 56, 60 mil pounds. Happy days. It's a risk worth taking. Whereas the Sesko one, I mean, I haven't seen enough of him, and you know, the tacticals can do all the mental gymnastics they want regarding his potential ability, his ability outside the box, his heading ability. I can't make sense of him being or costing more than a Victor Yakarez, who's been doing dirt for a couple of years now. Not only in the poor Portuguese league, which, okay, I agree with, it's not the best of leagues, but he's been doing it in Europe as well, across Europa League, Champions League, and on the international stage for Sweden. Nations League, he's been doing his thing. And get ready for the Sesko is the one videos to come back. Nah. Let's be easy. And if they do, then breaking news time. I'm gonna keep at the breaking news as well. Quick 10-minute video, initial emotion, and then we talk live. One mic, hit the like button, people. 1.8K in the building, and like I said, go back and watch the Zubimendi video as well. Just less than 1,000 off 20K. Let's hit 20K there, and just less than 100 off 1,000 likes. So let's hit 1,000 likes there. Let me just quickly save some of these member comments as well. Come on, let me get the Sujas one in whilst we're at it. This Matisse guy, this is what happens when you use the same StreamYard. Why is he doing the bubble text again? Why does he like this? Is it him? Nah, he uses OBS. I don't know who it is. I need to block it off. I like this one here. This one's blocked off nicely. And even the colors are messed up. I've come back to anarchy, man. Even the colors are messed up, but we move. It's not about the colors of the super chats. So the members, it's about the text within. Such says, big up Turkish, the little man, and the chat. How was the little getaway? Hit the likes and subscribe, people. You already know what to do. The getaway was much needed, Suj. I can't lie to you. Family time is the best time. And whether that's family blood related or whether that's family friends, you know, you always need it. And it's not always about going away either, but if you can, do so. Look at Diogo Jota in the news there, and look at what's going on in Palestine and all over the world, really. And in terms of, you know, I always say life is beautiful, but the world is fucked. You've got to live, love, laugh. Is that the saying? Because you don't know when your day is going to come. You don't know when someone else's day is going to come. The Diogo Jota news, though, since I've brought it in, that hit me hard. I can't lie. Because of the 3 children in particular. I'm a dad, and to see that 10 days after a wedding, childhood sweetheart, it cut deep. It cut deep, and forget that he was a top player. Forget that he was a player that I would have at one point loved at Arsenal Football Club. Yeah, a sad story, and the way the news keeps on breaking news. He was the driver. Breaking news. He might. You see the news and the media, but we know how who runs that and how it's run and the narratives, and let's talk about this because we don't want to talk about this because we can't talk about this. You know how it runs people. So Diogo Jota, rest in peace. Andre Silva, rest in peace. Thoughts are with the kids, the missus, mum that's lost her 2 sons. Yeah, it's a bigger than football. Bigger than football. What is football? Really, even me saying bigger than football is incorrect. What is football? Football is entertainment. Football is a sport. Football is a game. And these things really do put it into perspective. So, yeah, sad day. Sad day last week regarding Jota and his brother, and generally sad times when you look across the world and what's going on in Palestine in particular, as well as other places. Congo's another one. Yemen, and I'm probably missing a few here because I don't know the true extent of the problems worldwide and what is really going on, because again, the media don't really media the way they should media, if that makes sense. It should make sense. But yeah, how did I go from talking about the getaway to that? The getaway is a privilege. The getaway is a blessing. To be able to spend time with family, with my son, is just, it's just a beautiful thing, and you can never take that for granted. So thank you, Suj, for the message and always for the love, the support, everything. Joe says, Arteta, take note. Lego team building event pre-season. Hey, don't even get him started, because I can see it. We'll have a Havertz Lego model coming out soon at the Arsenal shop, and the fan base will go mad, breaking every metric in the book towards the end of last season. But now we're getting a number 9. Interesting. Rob says, what do you think of Norway as a country? I haven't thought of I know Norway's a country, but I haven't really, thought about Norway as a country much, if I'm honest with you. It's produced Haaland, who's one of the, best out and out goal scorers of all time. But as a country, I don't know much about it. I've heard nice things. I've heard there's some nice spa hotels and retreats over there, and them ice bath and smoky bath places and whatnot. I'm butchering what they're actually called, but yeah, I don't know much about Norway, if I'm honest. I got to travel a little bit more than I do, but like I said, it's always a blessing if you get the chance. What if Yakarez doesn't happen and we end with Watkins? And did you see the MADUEKE video? If what you're saying or insinuating might happen there happens, then it'll be worse than the MADUEKE video. I'll be honest with you, because you can't just move from one to the other. And I'm not being disrespectful to Watkins here. Spoke to Jordan on Forever, and Watkins would be his preferred choice. Watkins is a good striker. My problem is when people say Premier League proven, I've got to see 2 20-goal seasons. For a striker, Premier League proven used to mean a couple 20-goal seasons at the very least. Like you can say Isak is a Premier League proven striker. You can't say Watkins is a Premier League proven striker. Not in my opinion. But yeah, if this happens, love for the love, because the internet will be shut down. But let me not entertain that, because until Fabrizio Ornstein speak, I won't speak. But even Fabrizio spoke on MADUEKE, and again this morning. Again, what a way to start my first day back in England. It is what it is. Jenna says, I'm a Madrid fan. Rodrygo never complains or gets upset when he gets subbed. He also played over 53 times this season. It's his time to sit on the bench like Arda Güler. Thing about it, Jenna, Arda Güler came in as a youngster, And I'm weary here of getting all the topics into one. We will kind of segment them and talk about them individually, because I believe a few of the names deserve being talked about individually, not just because of the quality they possess, but because of the impact they can potentially have at Arsenal Football Club and the needs and wants going into next season. But Arda Güler came in as a youngster, a surprise purchase, but a wise purchase from Real Madrid. I was worried about game time, and rightly so. When you saw how Ancelotti was dealing with him for the first couple of years, it didn't look good. But I always said going into this summer, depending on how Xabi Alonso sees him and saw, you know, his idea working out over there in La Liga or for Real Madrid, we might. I say we. I'm speaking from the Turkish side here. We might see more of him in a Real Madrid shirt. From the Arsenal side, I mean, if we didn't and Rodrygo retained his place, then I'd be saying go get Arda Güler, you know. And then people might say, oh, why? We've got Nwaneri, Saka's back up, but you're not saying that when it comes to Madueke. A lot of people are still jumping through hoops to make that make sense. So Arda Güler had to work his way up, and he believed in his own source, you know. He believed in himself, and even at the end of last year, he was purchasing a new property, and, you know, regardless of the knockbacks he got at Real Madrid, because he's a quality player. I mean, finally at Club World Cup, you know, the world is seeing it more. I've seen that from him, and I know. Am I being biased if I say he could be a generational creative midfielder? He could be, you know, one of those tens that you know, you look back on and think that is a footballer. That is a footballer. I think he does have that potential, but, you know, until you see him week in, week out, or at least consistently at the highest level, it's hard to really come to that conclusion. But we are seeing him Club World Cup. In my opinion, he's probably been Real Madrid's best player. In my opinion, I think obviously Garcia has been scoring goals, but I think Arda Güler has been the shining light. Maybe I'm wrong, you know. Jenna, you're a Madrid fan, so you tell me, you know better than me, but my bias might be kicking in. Whereas with Rodrygo's a player that he's done his dirt. He gained his game time over the years. He fitted in where he needed to accommodate for the other players in his position for one with Vinny, and he'd done his thing. He's won Real Madrid games. He's won Real Madrid Champions League games on the way to winning major trophies. So he's at a different level. You can't expect a player that's done that dirt to get to where he is consistently to then go and be happy with sitting on the bench because Arda Güler was happy sitting on the bench. They're completely different. Firstly, they're completely different profiles, which is okay. To have different profiles on you know, on one side, or the options is great for a squad. But in terms of where you are at as a player, yeah, I think Rodrygo does need to find somewhere new. And if he does find somewhere new and it's not Arsenal, then I'll probably be flipping again, people, because that is the sort of signing that, you know, Arsenal need to make. Suj says Singapore is close to Australia. Bring the little man over. I've got plenty of places for him here, especially if he likes things like Bluey. You know what? He likes Bluey. He does. But I don't know how he got into Minecraft, but he just loved Minecraft. That is the number one for him. He doesn't do Paw Patrol or Ninja Turtles, or he done Rachel for a bit. I forgot what. But big up Rachel though, because she's speaking out a lot about what's going on around the world, and with her following and with what she does, it hits a bit different. You know, it's hard to really dismiss someone like that who's out there all for the kids and doing stuff, you know, to help nurture and build key life skills for children. But yeah, he went through that phase. But for the past year or so, there's Minecraft everywhere. I mean, if I go in his room, Legos, Minecraft. There's probably like 5 boxes he hasn't done. So we're running that. The creeper came out 1st of June. I went out and got him a creeper. Took it to Cyprus. Within 36 hours, it was done. And it's all small pieces. The fucking box says 10 plus on it. My son's 4. I might write to Lego and say, yo, I'm buying this thinking it's going to take him weeks. He's doing it in a day and a half. So are you lot playing with me and, you know, tricking me into buying him things that he's going to do like that? So you want me to come and purchase more, or like, do you need to alter the age? I don't know what's going on, but yeah, South London, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers. Those were the two. Like the original Power Rangers, those were the two for me that covered my childhood. But yeah, now it's very different. Now it's very different. I even bought a Switch 2 before going Cyprus, but I didn't even set it up. He loves doing the Lego so much that I even forgot the Switch 2 was with us. So I brought it back still in its box. But I'm gonna set it up soon. I like a bit of Mario Kart as well. That's an OG right there. I need Lego, but Lego don't do sponsorship. They make their money regardless. They don't need someone like me shouting them out, especially flipping and telling people, yo, scan that QR code and buy some fucking Lego before I go mad. I don't think it hits the same way as Proton VPN. Big up Proton VPN. Dragon Ball Z, I like Dragon Ball Z, but I didn't really get into it like that. You know, I can't tell you the story of it. Like, I can't. Fresh Prince, I used to watch from a youth as well, like, which people might say, how are you watching that young like that? But he just used to be on BBC Two. BBC Two or Channel 4, one of them. And Goodness Gracious Me and things like that. If you know about Goodness Gracious Me, then let me know in the comments, because that show was elite. That show was elite. That show would probably need to come with a warning beforehand now. I see recently Rush Hour's been changed. Well, not changed, but there's a warning before you watch Rush Hour now that, you know, this was in the 90s, so something said might offend you and whatnot. I can't believe that. Rush Hour molded me. Rush Hour rolled me. J Dam, you know, Asian classic. You actually know. Is that the only one that knows? Yeah, that's the only one so far. That was an exclusive one. That's the exclusive one. But yeah, Rush Hour molded me. How can do you not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth offend people these days? And not only, I mean, there was a lot to it. But what a time we're living in. And Suj on bringing Little Man, I mean, bought him Dubai. What's that, a 7-hour flight? He was young then, slept through most of it. Cyprus there and back, 4.5, 5 hours. He was entertaining himself throughout, you know, playing little games and doing little puzzles and whatnot. I think a 13-hour flight to Singapore. I don't even know if I can do that yet. So let me find out if I can do that first before I bring Little Man with me, because I'm not a fan of flying. I'll be honest. I'm not like that. I'm not a fan. I'll be honest. I know if shit hits the fan up there, then, you know, there is no fan to shit on anymore, because you're done. So yeah, I'm not a fan of flying. I do always fear the worst. But I still fly. You know, I'm not on a Dennis Bergkamp thing. I still fly. But yeah, we move. Dan Man says, where are you Arsenal fans getting this Rodrygo, getting this? Calm down, brother. You're flustered. You're saying the same thing twice. Where are you Arsenal fans getting this Rodrygo transfer talk from? I can't find it anywhere. Where I'm getting it from is here, because it's what I want. It's what my mind has told me. And for years, find someone that spoke of Rodrygo being open and available this summer before I said it, because I've been talking about it for 1.5 years, that come this summer coming up, Rodrygo will be available. And lo and behold, it seems like he's available. Why? Because I knew when they signed RODRYGO, there's potential there. Endrick hasn't worked out the way, and, you know, it is what it is with him. But bringing Mbappe in as well, which was always on the cards for a couple of years before he eventually came in, I knew that Rodrygo would be the fool guy in that attack, or be the guy that's frustrated, you know, and seeks to move. So my Rodrygo talk, or you know, want to go get him, just comes from the fact that he's a quality player that's available, that's done it at the highest level. Not only done it at the highest level, done it at the highest level in positions that he might, you know, at the time not have been the most familiar with. So I'm not, you know, I'm not here saying Rodrygo, Fabrizio said it, or Ornstein said it. I mean, Grizz Khan ain't even said it. So, you know, I ain't taken Rodrygo from anywhere, but just a want, someone that's on the wish list, someone that if he does move and we're not in for him, then you know, it shows. Because at the end of the season, goosebumps. I mean, you know, Yakarez is nice, Zubimendi is nice, but Rodrygo on top of that, with a little Eze on the sides, I mean, bumps might start goosing, as they say, or as I say. I don't know who says it, but, you know, I said it recently. So yeah, there's no foundation to the Rodrygo stuff aside from knowing that he's being hard done by in terms of quality. But Arda Güler stepped in and stepped up now. So really, it's looking worse for him than it was 3 weeks ago. Has says, big up Turkish. Hope you had a good holiday with your family. Nice to see the links, but I ain't getting excited till I see the pen on paper. Love for the love. 100%. I mean, people were saying that to me as well. You can't get too excited. But I was just breaking the news that I was happy about it. You know, I know Arsenal, you know, better than as much as anyone else out there. And I know that until their sign still delivered with Berta, hand on shoulder, the guy smiling with a pen, you know, you can't believe it unless someone takes a picture like they did with Norgard yesterday at the training ground. You can't, you know, you can't get too carried away with it. But I want people to know my thoughts. So when the news came out, I let people know my thoughts. Smile on the face, happy. Oh shit, positive Turkish done more views than negative Turkish. How? I didn't think that was possible, but possibilities changing. Who knows? Who knows what you might see from me? You might see 5 things from me moving forward as well. That side of shit. But yeah, to be honest, we're 26 minutes in. There's been no structure to the show, but I guess this is what happens when, you know, you're off for 2 weeks and then come back to the community. Love for the love. Am I the only one more excited by Eze than Rodrygo? You're not the only one, that's for sure. I've spoken to a few people that have said similar. For me, it's never Eze or Rodrygo. It's Eze and Rodrygo. Reason being because Eze for me is a central player primarily, you know, and centrally we still need someone. That's why I wanted Shirky so much, because for that price and the ability he possesses and the skill set in comparison to an Odegaard, I thought he was perfect, considering if you're going big on Yakarez and going big on Rodrygo, then you might need to spare some change for the midfield. Shirky was a good price, but City swooped in, got their man, and you know, we're left thinking. Eze comes out of nowhere. I mean, again, when you look at Eze, 60 mil release clause, 20 mil installments for 3 years, that works. So I don't really know why I'm waking up to hear about Madueke again, if I'm honest with you. I really do hope this is Berta, you know, putting his eggs in all the baskets and, you know, applying pressure to the club who hold the player that he really wants. We really want. That's ideal for me. But it doesn't sound like it, people. If we're agreeing a 5-year deal with him, what is going on? But let me not flip. I will break news if news needs to be broken. Big Six boys running their mouth on Arsenal on Tuesday. Monday? Oh, it depends on what time where you are. I haven't watched it yet. I saw Big Steve's video on Instagram, and then I saw the comment section. What I didn't like about that, and I'll mention it on the show, is it's like one person says I'm unsubscribing, and then there's about 10 more people saying I'm like, stop being sheep, people. Stop. That's what it is to me. If you don't like what was being said, okay, I get it. It's frustrating. I mean, I say it all the time. I'd rather not, you know, argue with the Twitter narrative. I've said it across the board on the Big Six, because I know that I'm very different to the Arsenal Twitter lot, or the Twitter Arsenal lot. But at the same time, the outrage in terms of unsubscribing, channels falling off, can't believe this. I mean, with all due respect, if you're going to unsubscribe, then, you know, just do it. You don't need to announce it. Like, if I end my Netflix subscription, I don't email them saying, I can't believe you've brought this dross out. You've fallen off. You started with Narcos. Now you're bringing out this. I don't, just, you know, if I don't like something on the TV, I turn it off. I don't write to ITV or, you know, whoever, whatever I'm watching. So yeah, I didn't like the outrage about it. And generally, football fans are very different in how they approach things. And to be honest, Steve loves it. Steve loves it. You can see him in the comment section after. I've done a video the next day on Instagram. So, you know, don't play the game. And maybe there is no game to be played on both sides. But here we are. What if Yakarez and Madueke ends our business? Rate. Talking about rate the window. If Yakarez, Madueke, Zubamendi, Kepa, Norgard, Yakarez, give me time, because this rating's not going to be good, and I don't want to say the wrong rating, but we're not hitting any more than 5 off the top of my head in terms of out of 10, and that's mainly because of Yakarez and Zubamendi, if I'm honest with you. But let me think about that. Let me, you know, it's still early. Ash says, Turkish, I can't seem to understand the divide in signing Yakarez. Seen so many critical posts of Yakarez since the news, the majority from our fans. Because when you're so definitive in your statement, or when some people are so definitive in their statement of or wish or want and whatnot, you know, in terms of Sesko's the guy because he does this, his ceiling is this, he can do that, but he can't do this. You know, when it goes against you, like that guy, that I say guy, I don't know what it is really. Really, I don't know what it is. Forgot his name. Is it No New Thing or some shit like that? I remember when he said Havertz has got the same body as Van Persie and he shoots from impossible angles. And now I'm seeing that he said if we sign Yakarez, he's no longer supporting Arsenal like that. I mean, even if it's for that reason alone, then that is great news. That is great news. Yakarez gives me 7 goals and that sort of fan leaving the club. I mean, you know, we'll take that for the first. No, we won't take that, but you know what I mean. So yeah, people like to. If we signed Sesko, for example, yeah, it would have been not my ideal choice, right? And I would have said, listen, this club is not serious. You can't be going into this season having seen what Man City and Liverpool have just done, competing with them after what they've done for the last 7 years, giving me Sesko and telling me we've got to be patient. That wouldn't run. But as soon as he puts on the shirt and he's going and you back it, you know, even with Havertz, I wouldn't say I backed it like that. But when he was scoring goals, when he started showing a bit of something in that 6-month period, I said, all right, if he continues doing this, then cool, because I can see a place for him in the squad. Right. And I was completely, I don't think I've been against the signing ever more so than Havertz to Arsenal. And even with him, I said, all right, let's just see how this plays out. And, you know, praise when need be praise, but criticize when criticism is necessary. And that's much more often than when praise was required. So I just think it's people personal agendas and the whole I was right in 6 months or 12 months and oh look at Sesko, look what he's doing in 6 months, 12 months. Fuck the divide. You know, we've just scored I was about to say we've just bagged, we haven't bagged him yet, but if we get Yakarez, we've bagged the gunman. And we ain't had a gunman since Oba. So in the squad, every club needs a gunman, in my opinion. Man City, Haaland, gunman. Liverpool, Salah, gunman. We don't have a gunman. We haven't had one since Oba, so I welcome Yakarez. I can't call Sesko a gunman. I don't know. The way people talk about him, it's like he's the one that fills up the ammunition for the gunman because, you know, they're doing hula hoops to make sense of 13 goals in the league. But here I am adding to the divide. So let me move on. Raji says, how are you feeling if Eze, Yakarez, and Madueke are signed, but they are the only attackers we signed this summer? Eze being the left wing upgrade. I mean, you've added Eze to the list that I was just asked about in terms of rating. So if I'm saying that one would have been no more than a 5, then Eze, Yakarez, Zubamendi, I'm looking at them 3 in particular, and I'm saying Eze, Yakarez, Zubamendi. I'm saying just on incomings alone, and just those 3 players alone, I'm saying 7-ish. And that's on the face of it. Really, you really start rating windows after 6, 12 months, after a year and a half. You know, that 2019 window, I was singing about Nicolas Pepe. We bought Tierney, Martinelli, and a few other players. I thought, yep, this window was great. And we went and finished 8th. So you look back at that window and you think, well, you know, Tierney, injury problems throughout, didn't work out. Who else did we sign? Pepe. Yeah. We know how that story went, albeit harshly done by at times. So yeah, I don't really, you know, there's one rate in the window when it's done, you know, come game week 1 or come 1st of September. And there's another rating that comes in a year or so. Bantod says, Turkish, trust me, you'll be happy at the end of the window. Just remember what I told you. Okay. Okay, but make sure you're here come the end of the window. You remind me come the end of the window. And really, let's say game week 1. But come the end of the window, you remind me, and we'll talk again. Then remind me either way as well. Yeah, don't be ashamed or shy to say, you know what, I was wrong, man. Because I've been wrong. I've been wrong. Have you ever took little man to Legoland? Not yet, but I think he's ready for it now. 4.5, going on to 5 in January. He's ready for it. So soon come. I mean, I wanted to do that this summer with friends and their kids, but yeah. It just didn't work out with the South Africa trip, then Cyprus, and then Singapore coming up. It's so tight in between the holidays that, yeah, it's difficult. Ulrika Johnson, picking Partey despite police arrest, ball reflects. Wait, sorry. Picking Partey despite police arrest, bail reflects poorly on Arsenal compared to other similar issues for Man City, United, etc. What is your view? So my view on this, I mean, I spoke about it on Arsenal, which will come out soon as well, and I've intended to speak about it when I go live rather than do any breaking news video on it or anything like that, because it's such a delicate and sensitive subject first and foremost, and I don't like how the internet play with these things. You know, I'm seeing a lot of people use it to fit agendas, play their games. Now, I don't disagree with you in terms of how it looks on the club. You know, for me, the club, for me, let me, from my perspective, because a lot of people are tagging me in, you know, videos or mentioning my name in comment section saying, remember, Turkish wanted Partey to re-sign a new deal. I did want Partey to re-sign a new deal because I was talking about the footballer, and I didn't, you know, knew about the allegations over the 3 years, but I didn't know about any fine details. I didn't know about the truth behind them. I didn't know, I haven't seen any evidence. And, you know, what more can I do but talk about the footballer, Thomas Partey, or any footballer? I don't know none of them personally, just to get that one out there. And when Arsenal started talking about a new contract with him, I thought, you know what? Arsenal care more about the perception than the reality all the time. Look at how they handled Ozil and the, you know, Uyghur Muslims issue in Asia. Even El Nene with the Palestine flag, and a couple of things over the years that, you know, have shown, I won't say Arsenal's true colors, because it's people that are working behind the scenes, right? They are not the club, right? Especially in the modern day football, 10, 20 years, they are not the club. But the club gets tarnished through decisions they make, like with Ozil, like with maybe an El Nene, and like this one with Thomas Partey. Now, when they went for a new contract, I thought, no way this club is offering a new contract and they don't know that this is this issue, or the allegations are behind him now, or there was no real foundation to them in the first place, or there's nothing to come from it moving forward, right? I maybe silly me, because, you know, I've just given examples of the past, but the examples in the past, Arsenal kind of dealt with it how I'd expect them to deal with it, caring more about perception than, you know, anything else. So I'll talk about Thomas Partey's contract being extended, and at the time, of course, I was saying that, you know, we'd be stronger with Zubimendi and Thomas Partey. Then, you know, what happens in terms of the contract talks die, and, you know, the allegations become charges. Now the charges are being brought to court, I think in August at some time. And again, I don't know the fine details. I have seen the archive, which is news to me, and you know, in Cyprus, you know, chilling, you've got time to go through it, or I had time to go through it. And I think there's foundation there for sure. But again, I don't know the fine details, and I've seen these cases go either way. So for me to talk about it, number one, who am I to talk about it? You know, I always go back to, if you've been a long time subscriber of mine, I always go back to Dave Chappelle when he talked of 9/11 and said the news brought Ja Rule on to talk about it. Right now, I know it's a completely different ball game we're talking about here, right? Or, you know, issue we're talking about here. But who cares what Ja Rule thinks at a time like this, was the words that Dave Chappelle used. Like, who cares what I think at a time like this? Because there are victims in this situation, you know, the women involved, for example. You know, if the charges get put forward and the evidence is there, and, you know, it's a guilty, and what do you think I think? If you watch me, you should know my morals, and you should know what I'm about. So to ask me or tag me in things and comment, you know, like I would have known that this is true and the charges were being brought, and I still wanted them to sign a new contract. It's very disingenuous. You know, that's also what I don't like. But yeah, I mean, where was I going? Who cares? So yeah, who really, like, for me, the victims in this situation are the ones that people should care about, right? And now, like I said, we've seen these go either way. We've seen footballers or celebrities get done, evidence there, locked up, reprimanded, whatever. We've seen that, right? I don't even want to name players off the top of my head, but I think there was rumors of Cristiano, for example, paying off. There was Robinho there was something with him, right? I think he's in jail. And then we've seen Benjamin Mendy, right? And I'm sure there was other examples, or that Neymar one where the video evidence was there, and it was a setup. So I've seen very, so for me to comment and give a definitive opinion on it all when there is no outcome yet, and by outcome, sometimes the courts can never, find out the truth behind these things, because especially in these cases, it's hard to really prove it, and that is unfair. It's not nice, and if that is the case, Allah will deal, right? That's why I always, when I talk about justice in general, it's not about courts, it's not about the judge or jury. For me, Allah sees all, God sees all, and the justice will come there if it doesn't come anywhere else. Now, again, like I said, there's examples on the other side with like Benjamin Mendy, who was suspended, who was cut from the side, who was ridiculed and labeled, and then it comes out years later that, okay, this was all kind of a farce, and then he sues Man City or does what, I don't know the ins and outs, because again, I watch football, I talk about wider things as well. But like with Palestine, for example, or like, what do you think I think? If you don't know me enough to know what I think about what's going on in Palestine, or if an allegation like this is proven, what should happen to I probably think worse than you. If the allegation is proven and the evidence is there, then being locked up is not enough. It's not enough. But I'm dealing with ifs here. So hopefully I get this across, because many people are asking me about it, address it. This is me addressing, maybe I haven't said much, right? Maybe I haven't said much. Maybe I'm skirting around the issue, but what can I do or say, like, to you to appease, what you might want me to say about it. I'm not too sure, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, hopefully I've got that out there, because you know how the internet works. If someone clips something and then puts it out there, it's like, oh my God, he's a sympathizer. Oh my God, he agrees. Oh my God, he's labeled party already. I mean, you'll get it from all angles. I'm here saying, I don't know. We don't know. I don't like people playing games with these sort of subjects, and I don't like people putting my name into things like, oh, Turkish wanted party to be renewed. If that was you, and I'm not talking about you here, even though this is the first time I'm seeing your name ever send a super chat, then you're a mug. If I'm honest with you, you're a mug. And again, I'm not particularly talking about you, but if this is the only reason you've come on this channel to send this super chat, then yes, you would fall into that mug category. Because, if you know me, like most of the community here do know me over the years, you wouldn't need to ask me my thoughts. You wouldn't need to ask me, oh, but you wanted him to sign, and you knew about it. Knew about what? Knew about what? So yeah. I mean, in hindsight now, the club should have probably loaned him out or sold him, when the initial arrests were made, because the allegations are disgusting. But that doesn't, mean guilty, or that doesn't mean I know what's going on behind the scenes, or it just it does stain, it doesn't stain the football. It's the people behind the football. Like Arsenal already, I've been saying it for years, it's not the same club I grew up with, right? It's not. It was a local club. By that I don't mean, oh, we've got fans all over and that's bad. Now by local club I mean it was more connected to the fan base, especially the local community and whatnot. This is a global enterprise now. It's come a long way in that 20 years. And as with most global enterprises, they play the safe card, the safe chips all the time. Now, this one in particular, it doesn't seem like they played it safe. It seems like they, backed and supported and dismissed the allegations. And that's a surprise to me, considering I know Arsenal care about perception more than anything. And yeah, that's it really. I ain't got no more to say on it. So if anyone, asks, am I going to address it, point them to this video, because hopefully I've done what I need to do on this subject, because it's not something I really want to be. Now, there's another one. Should Arsenal have kept picking him, though? It's not about your view. I'm asking your view of the club versus Man United and Man City's actions. I've just said you probably have loaned him out or sold him at the time of the allegations, because you, regardless of, it's an arrest, not a charge, or nothing's been proven yet. These sort of allegations, like I said, disgusting. So if I was in the position, I probably would have seeked to move on and distance myself from the player, regardless. That's not mistreating him for him to turn around like maybe Mendy did, having been proven innocent, and then turning around to the club and saying, like, look at what you man done, played your part in. That's just me, in that position, distancing myself from this sort of a, dark cloud, to say the least. And even putting a dark cloud is not the right term, really. So yeah, big up DM Arsenal archives. Guilty, innocent, the way the club handled it right till the very end, with transfer links through the roof since Partey next broke. Don't sit comfy with me yet. I mean, it was Jota passed away, mad, like emotional day, not just for Liverpool fans, but just in general. Next day, the Partey news that he's been charged comes out. Then I'm seeing all the back and forths, and like people are playing games with it. Yeah. So I just said, you know what, I'm not entertaining this. But then all the news starts breaking. Was it Madueke? No, it's Eze, Madueke, Yakarez all over the next few days. And maybe that's the chips the club are playing. I wouldn't put it past them, because it is a shit show. The way it was handled, in hindsight, unacceptable. Learning curve needs to be made. And even in some of the archives, I'm seeing some names that work at the club that, were called out and whatnot. And I think, things have got to be done. Things have got to be done, because it was a shit show. And in hindsight, and it is a stain on the club, because these people work for the club. But this ain't my club. You get, this ain't the club. This ain't Arsenal. This is the people that are, within, making these decisions. So whether 4 or 5 people were involved, how can that reflect what the club is or was or should be? Even though when you couple it with Ozil and the way they handled that situation, or the El Nene and a couple more over the recent years anyway, yeah, it doesn't look good. The old school classy Arsenal way is long gone. 100%, bro. I mean, who said it? I think Jordan said it on Forever Arsenal. We had the reputation, or we have a reputation, to be classy. But I've said for years, bro, and you've watched me for years, brother. Classy what? Like that's long gone. Once Cronkies were in, and there was, they don't care about what the club represents. You can bring out Rocastle quotes, you can bring out Adams quotes, Bergkamp quotes, but the Cronkies, it's a business to them. It's a business to them. It's even come out that they own the biggest sports franchises or whatever, the most profitable, whatever, recently. But the class was gone with them, in my opinion. And everything else that follows after, in terms of structure and people coming in, it's all business, 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 more than it is club, community. Which growing up, that's what Arsenal felt, when most clubs felt like, more than anything. Community and club, that's what it was all about. Our club, our community. Now it's their business, and they've taken what we had, or what we grew up with and built over years, not just fans, obviously players across those times, and just fucked it. But yeah, hopefully people, I've covered it how it needs to be covered, because I do want to move on from it now. And we'll see how it plays out, and if I need to talk about it again, I'll talk about it again. But at the same time, like I said, it's such a delicate and sensitive subject, and I talk football, amongst other things. It's not something I like actually talking about, because it's real life, and it's bigger than football. It's much bigger than football. It's real life. People are affected by it. Whether it's the women involved, whether it's Thomas Partey's missus, parents, cousins, people are affected by it in different ways, shape, and form. So that's my, I mean, I was about to say 2 pence on it, but I've given it quite a bit. So yeah. you can let me know in the comment section as I've been talking, because it's a serious subject. I haven't been keeping an eye on the chat either. So, and me doing it live, there's no script, there's no structure to it. So again, I hope there ain't no clip there that someone takes out and it's out of context and it looks mad, because best believe that my morals are where they should be. Yeah, they are where they should be. I'm just not here to play no games with no serious subjects like that. But moving on. Mark says, could Eze and Odegaard thrive as dual eights with Rice or Zubimendi behind, like Silva and De Bruyne with Fernandinho at City in 2017-18? Is Arteta trying to recreate that balance at Arsenal? That's another reason, brother, that I want Eze and Rodrygo, because Eze not only gives Odegaard the necessary competition and a skill set that he doesn't possess in terms of being a bit more dynamic around the box, whereas Odegaard's a bit more of a controller outside the box. I'd like the option to have 2 8s, 2 10s with Rice or Zubimendi behind. I mean, no better person to clean up than Rice when you saw his statistics coming into Arsenal Football Club in terms of winning the ball back, interceptions. You know, in the league, he was doing his thing up there with the very best. So we've got the 6s for that, but we don't have the 8s and 10s for that. So Eze, in my opinion, is a central player, and we need his profile coming in centrally. That's why I'd like Rodrygo on the left, because that doesn't have an effect otherwise then. So yeah, it'd be nice to see it. I remember Arteta tried it with, did he try it with Emil Smith-Rowe and Odegaard a couple of times a few years ago? Didn't work well, I don't think. But at that time, our squad wasn't as capable ability-wise as it is now, or as structured as it is now. So it'd be nice to have the option to be able to do that, especially if, you know, if you're playing Wolves or you're playing Leeds, or, you know, you're playing a team that you expect to dominate. It'd be nice to have the options to have two more natural technical 8s, 10s like Eze and Odegaard in front of a Zubimendi or Rice. So yeah, hopefully, that is the thought process that they're going through. How do you solve Martinelli's creative stagnation? Oh, Mark, again, thank you, Mark. Is it coaching or just form? I think it's a mix, if I'm honest with you. I think it's a mix. And I think it's a 50-50 mix. I think Odegaard's both a victim of the same thing in terms of the way the squad is coached and the way we approach games over the last year and a half or so. So I'd say it's more than just form, but I look at Saka, who over that time has also had to deal with the same restraint or restrictions or stringent instructions, and he's come out the other end a better player, still productive and still able to influence games at a higher level than Odegaard and in particular Martinelli has done over the last 18 months. So I think it's a mix. I expect Arteta to change it up this season. Zubimendi, the ability to speed it up. I mentioned it in the welcome video. I welcome that, because, you know, our 6s previously in Partey and Jorginho were leggy, to say the least, you know. So I think Zubimendi comes in nice age, prime, his ability to move the ball quickly into the final third, into the 8, into the 10. It'll be welcomed. So if that change comes along with the tactical tweak that's necessary, then Martinelli might thrive next season. I just feel like 2 years in, having had one real good season at Arsenal so far, maybe it's time to refresh that side. Maybe it's not. Maybe Martinelli comes through and bags 15 again this season, because Yakarez does like to float out to the left. Again, hindsight's a wonderful thing, so we'll see come the season. It's a possibility, but the possibility remains that Martinelli's regression continues or his stagnation continues, and next season we're saying, why didn't we sign a left winger? And that's what I want to avoid. Forget the whys and the R's and the, you know, excuses. Let's do what we need to do. Fred says, big up the community as well, man, because I've just had to stay on the super chat section because you're flinging them in. But I do want to get to some member comments and regular comments as well. So hopefully I can get into some. It's nearly an hour on the clock. Fred says, well into July, not only the obvious ins, but we had a light squad last year. Need to add depth to the bench, not to mention outgoings. Lots of business to do. You know what it is though with my, the depth word is coming up a lot with Madueke, right? Number one, what's going on with Ranieri? So let's iron that one out before we even entertain another right winger. Number two, the people saying that he can play left wing as well. How many times have you seen him on left wing? And then I'll ask you on top of that, how many times have you seen him do well on the left wing? You're struggling. So stop with that nonsense as well. Then you hear the depth argument. Now, my problem with the depth argument is, how did Lukonga go? How did Vieira go? How did Sterling go? Like many signings over the years, last couple of years, have been added as depth, right? But it hasn't worked out. In my opinion, we're at a place now where you sign ready-made first-team players, players that could dislodge some of the starting 11 now, and they become depth. You're in a much better position. Because like I said, with a Havertz, for example, you sign GYOKERES now, guess who become the depth? It should be Havertz. And guess what? We wouldn't mind. Havertz getting 10 goals off the bench, 12 goals off the bench, changing it up when need be. Oh, it's 0-0. GYOKERES is having a stinker. He missed a penalty. All right, let's get the ball into the box. Oh, Havertz there, back post, header in. Cool. That, different. Like Trossard and Martinelli, for example. Trossard coming off the bench is a different player to Trossard starting games. So for me, the depth needs to come from within. You sign ready-made players, and the depth creates itself. You sign a RODRYGO, then either Martinelli is depth or Trossard is depth. GYOKERES, like I said, Havertz. Eze, then it's Odegaard potentially, or you have the ability to change, chop, and do what you want. So for me, there is business to do, but the depth stuff, I think. Well, we've got Kepa that sorts out goalkeeper. Norgard, he's back up to Zubamendi now. I think that's it. I think that's the only two players we need to buy that come in to sit on the bench, right? That's the only two. The other players we need to buy put other players on the bench. So RODRYGO puts Martinelli on the bench, GYOKERES puts Havertz on the bench, and Eze might put Odegaard on the bench, or they mix it up, like I said. So that's the way I go about it now, or I would go about it. KD says, why are we going for Madueke? It's baffling. There are so many options. Oh, sorry. There are so many options. Bakayoko, Asana Diao, and Kubo, Sociedad, who we have a good relationship with. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned Kubo about 18 months or so ago. Was it 18 months? Maybe a year ago. Maybe last summer. I can't remember. Bakayoko. I don't think we need depth for Saka. That was the one position I looked at and said Saka and Ranieri are there. Saka and Ranieri are there. So, from there, let's sort the other ones out. I just don't get it. So for me, the Ranieri contract has to be the sticking point. If we sign Madueke, then I'm going to assume that Ranieri isn't intending on signing, or something's happened. Because everyone assuming that he will now be Odegaard's backup if we sign Madueke. I mean, where's the foundation for that? Arteta had multiple opportunities to play him, in the 10 when Odegaard was injured, to play him in the 10 when Odegaard was stinking it come the end of the season. We saw it for about 2 minutes. Premier League game, dead rubber, last 8 games of the season. He could have mixed it up. We didn't see it. We didn't see it. So where is the foundation that all of a sudden Arteta sees him as a central player? That would have been tested in the dead rubber league games, or when Odegaard was stinking it out in the biggest of games. We didn't see it. So you're asking me, why are we going for Madueke? I don't know. But other options on the right for me, I'm not even here to entertain them. I just want to sort out Ranieri and focus on other areas. We've got enough business to do. Yeah. What's Ulrika saying now? No, he hasn't. He hasn't said the club was wrong in still picking Partey instead of suspending him on allegations that Man United. So I haven't said what you want me to say. I don't understand. Like, I really don't understand. I actually said I would have loaned him or sold him. Haven't man given you enough examples of you're using Man City there? Mendy came out, and looking at that situation now, yeah, you could argue that what Man City did was wrong, because in the end, Mendy's career finished. Yeah, they got sued for it, right? So you bringing it up and asking me to say what you want me to say. I mean, like, this is the third comment I'm seeing from you, and it's all along the same line. So you're probably one that would like to clip me up and try and make it out to be some type of way. Go ahead. Go ahead. I mean, I've said what I've said. We keep it moving now. Dini says, bless up, my bro. Hope you're good. Just hope Arsenal do the right thing. But anyhow, Ranieri leaves, I'm joining you at the next protest. Bless up. I mean, there won't be a protest, bro. There should be protest regard. I mean, I'm going a bit too far there about protest. We finished second a few times in a row now. But I mean, yeah, Madueke signing, Ranieri leaving, and then us falling off next year. I mean, it puts us back to where we was when we were initially getting frustrated with Wenger. Oh, this club doesn't really want to win. Take the next step in getting over the line. Yeah. Let me get this one in. Oh shit, this one's popped up. Okay, cool. Ali says Arsenal are preparing their first offer at 40 million plus add-ons for Noni Madueke. Chelsea will push for 45, 50 million guaranteed with add-ons. Who's SI Phillips? Who's that? To be honest, Fabrizio has pretty much said it anyway that we're going to talk to Chelsea and we've agreed a 5-year deal personally with Noni. I just don't see how we all kind of, how we spin the block on that one. I mean, it doesn't sound like one that is, let's flirt with him so we can, tempt him. It just doesn't sound like that. It does sound like it's got legs and it does sound like it's got a foundation. Yeah. Cool. Let's move. Big up the natural, bro. When's the wave coming home, bro? We've been talking for years now. Every year it's next year, and then even to be honest, I haven't heard this year, last year, so I don't know what's going on. But yeah, Ali, you know my thoughts on Madueke, bro. I don't know who SI Phillips is, but I don't care if it's SI Phillips, GI Jane, or Grizz Khan. Yeah, if this shit happens, then we'll flip. Cypher says Yakarez coming on loan. Thoughts? Arsenal? Nah. We buy. Full stop. When is part 2 from South Africa coming? Love for the love. Back Your Chat is out tomorrow, and then we got part 2 of the vlog, which should be out the week after. But there's a lot of editing involved. Scarwy's been going through some health issues, so things have been a bit delayed because it was meant to be out last week, but he had a quick up, nothing major, but still a recovery period. So it slowed everything down a little bit. And again, I have to remind people, Big Six, it's just us. Like, it's just, man just sorts things out, and we're not some big organization. We don't have investors. We don't have a team of people doing shit. It's literally us. So bear with, but Back Your Chat will be out tomorrow. Vlog part 2. Kruger will be out soon enough as well, ideally next week Thursday, but next week at some point for sure. And then a little surprise. Hakeem says, for me, Rodrigo and Eze are a must for our team, but I don't trust Arteta to build the right system for them. But the quality is there, right? And it's proven. So for me, Yakarez, Rodrigo, Eze, they're win now players, right? Sesko isn't a win now player. So I want win now. I've wanted win now players for the last month and a half, however long this windows or the 2 windows that I've had so far I've opened. It's about win now players for me. And if you get Rodrigo, Eze, and Yakarez and you go backwards, then there ain't no excuses of injuries. There ain't no excuses of juggernaut Man City. There ain't no, you've got to do the damn thing with these players coming in. So, whether Arteta manages to build it or not, at least the excuses are out the window. And, we can finally be a bit more excited because we've got something fresh coming in, whether it's these players this summer or a new manager next summer. Either or. If Nelly allows us to sign Rodrigo, it should be done. I agree, Fred. I agree. I mean, the rumors of Al Nassr or whoever it was, I mean, far fetched. And I think Fabrizio's come out and said, nah, there's no truth to it. But yeah, I mean, if we could, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Nothing against Martinelli, by the way. I just think he could do with a change of scenery as well. Do you care about the fixture list and tough start? I don't, Taylor. You play everyone twice. If you get a few tough away games out at the start of the season and come over them in good nick, then it bodes well for the rest of the season, in my opinion. Doesn't guarantee anything, but it bodes well. So for me, a tough start, I'm excited about the tough start. I'm excited about it because it means the club have to. The club have to be ready. They have to be fit, firing, and stacked, because you cannot use injuries last season and lack of squad depth and being light and then use the same next season. Because if you are using the same excuse to use as last season, then you've it's gone horribly wrong in the summer again. Because that's why last season turned out the way it did, because last summer we got it horribly wrong. We didn't sign one star last summer. One. Because that's how it worked out. Calafiori, nope. Lewis Skelly. Mourinho, nope. It just remained the same. So this summer, it's about the acquisitions that need to go straight into the starting lineup and be ready for it as well. Mark, big up, says Arsenal's best form was fast, direct, and set piece savvy. To win the title, we'll need 12 to 13 wins in the first 15 games. Listen, if we get 12 to 13 wins in the first 15 games with that start to the season, the first 6 games, yeah. We should be in a great place to go on and win the league, albeit it's 15 games in and it's still very early days. And if you look at the first 15 games of the 22-23 season and how well we done there and how well we didn't come the end, yeah, there's still work to do. And you can still fuck it against Aston Villa, West Ham, like we learned, Southampton, like we learned. It's not always the big games. We haven't lost to a big 6 side in a little while now, 2 seasons, I believe. So, that sort of record in the first 15 games, you would be looking at a Premier League title, regardless. But yeah, I'm still looking at one now. We ain't even got no one in over the line that makes me believe we will. But we sign Yakarez, Eze, Rodrygo, then I think, we can win the league. It's hard to say definitively because Liverpool are a great side that have added Verts, Frimpong and GYOKERES already. Probably will bring 1 or 2 more. Man City are a great side with the greatest manager of modern time anyway. One of the greatest of all time, on top of spending how much they spent in the last 2 windows and bringing in quality like Reinders and Shirky. Never mind Marmoush, never mind Haaland in his poor season, bagging 25 league goals, 30 plus goals in all competitions. I'd like to have a player that in a poor season scores 30 goals in all competitions, please, because the standard, of some fans regarding Arsenal saying, yeah, let's get a striker in 20 goals all comps. What? Nonsense. Sources say the Yakarez negotiation has stalled. Thoughts? What sources? Not Fabrizio Ornstein. So I don't think much, my brother. But thank you for the membership. 3.4K in the building. How many likes we on? Are we close to 1,000 likes? We are close to 1,000 likes. 928 likes. Decent. Let's get to 1,000 likes, people. And once we do that, let's get the Zubimendi video to 1,000 likes as well and 20K views. Why not? We're close, so let's make it happen. All right, let me go into what haven't we talked about? We spoke on Rodrygo enough, Yakarez enough, Madueke enough. Eze probably not as much, but I do want Eze. The deal at 60 mil over 3 years, it just makes sense. Ex-Arsenal boy, comes full circle, a bit of hunger there to, he's won something at Palace now. He can get in and prove some of the doubters wrong from 10 years ago, or maybe more. I think he got released at 13. But yeah, I want Eze. I can't lie. I do want Eze. Shirky would have been the one for me, but Man City swooped in quickly, and we're not quick on the draw at the best of times. So yeah, Eze is a very good option to add centrally, in my opinion. But he's not the greatest option to add on the left wing. That's why I have to, caveat it all the time. Centrally, bring me Eze. And then, yeah, on the left, bring me Rodrygo. And on the right, don't bring me Madueke. Do not bring me Madueke, please. Don't even think he's a bad player. I think he's okay. But okay is not good enough. Okay takes minutes away from Ranieri. Okay, not okay. So, yeah. That's it. 4 players to discuss, right? That's it. Anything else? No. That might be it, people. 1 hour, 10 minutes. Let me know. I missed the Tomiyasu release. That was quite ruthless of us. Big up Charles for reminding me of that. We need right back cover. We don't. Ben White, Timber. Ben White and Timber, that should be enough. So we don't need right back cover, in my opinion. But at the same time, you look at the way Timber was banged out this season, 50 games or so, just shy of 50 games after an ACL, and then he needed an up in the summer. And you look at Ben White's season, hardly able to play him. When he came back, he looked a shadow of his former self, albeit with few minutes under his belt. We just have to hope that Ben White returns back after a full preseason, ready to go and ready to rediscover that form he showed for the previous 2 years, being one of the best right backs in the league. And we have to hope that Timber recovers well from the latest surgery and is in a position to be rotated with Ben White. So I think right back, we're all right now. It could unfold, but whatever. This Mosquera guy can play right back as well, apparently. So if we can get him at a good price on what we need to do, right? And I've already spoken about what I believe we need to do, the 3 players, then cool, so be it. So be it. Gabriel Heinz joined. I mean, my thoughts on that, non-existent. Surprise. I mean, obviously, Heinz, Man United left back. In the end, Fergie chose Evra over him. Was it Evra that spoke of the story? Because Heinz was a good fullback for them. He was a good fullback. But Evra was just, a level or two above. And in the end, Ferguson's choice, I mean, it spoke for itself in terms of football and trophies and so on. But coming into Arsenal, and you hear that Arteta tried to get him a year ago, not too sure. I mean, where does the links come from? Did someone say they played together? Was it PSG? I don't know. Where did they play together? No, it couldn't have been PSG. Oh, PSG. It was PSG, Mo said. Okay. So they played together. But I mean, Arteta also played with JJ Okocha. So it'd be nice to see a bit of JJ in the midfield. Well, I mean, Cherky was probably the closest to bringing that sort of panache. As is a bit different, but yeah. I mean, just because he played with Heinz, I don't know, 20 plus years ago, 30 years ago, no, 30 years ago. That's a hell of a long time ago. How have they stayed in contact? How have they remained friends I don't know. But yeah, my thoughts are I don't know. It is what it is, you know. It is what I couldn't care less. Just tell Jova to sit down. Just tell all your staff to sit down on match day, Mikael. That's all I'd like to see. You stand, you flip. I don't mind. Do a Mazza. That's fine. Tell your people to sit down. Jova, sit down, brother. Heinz, relax. Unless you want to just flip or something and it's a mad decision. The flipping is cool. I don't mind seeing people flip. That's fine. But I don't want everyone out there instructing, telling Rice cross it in when it's you shoot me. Yeah? We don't want none of that. We don't want none of that. We will only get 2 forwards. What that do? I mean, Eze is not a forward for me. Eze is a midfielder, central midfielder. So yeah, we can word it like that. We all flip. We all flip. Trust me. Arsenal sponsor Hands could be a United more. I mean, if it's a United more, I think they're aiming for the stars right now. They need to put a mole into Crystal Palace and Brentford first, and try and finish above them before they try and infiltrate us. But yeah, we'll see how that one goes. How's the hair now? The hair is good. I mean, I've got the hat on. Yeah, I mean, it's not done yet. And by done, I mean I didn't get a chance to comb it out like this beauty here. It takes a lot of effort, people. So yeah, the hat goes on, and I like hats. What can I do? I've got a vast collection. And when it goes again, I shout a hair. We get another deal under our belts, and we go again. The link is there, people. Why not? Why not? On that note, people. People are saying nonny. If I have to break news, I'll break it. But if you want my opinions on Noni, then Saturday hasn't changed. It's not going to change this Saturday, next year Saturday. And my thoughts remain the same. I told you already. Yeah. So go watch that if you haven't. Madueke reaction, Yakarez reaction. Welcome Martin Zubimendi. And here, One Mic Live. We're going to wrap it up here, people. Big up the community though. 3.2 Mark with a super chat. If you had to go on a chaotic road trip with 3 Arsenal players from the current squad, who are you taking and why? It's a good question, Bear in mind, I'm 37, right? Chaotic road trip. Chaotic. For some reason, I lean towards Gabriel. I think Gabriel would be one of them. We both got our hair done. We've got something in common. We've been stressed. We bounced back. So yeah, Gabriel would be one. Chaotic road trip. I think Ben White. Ben White looks like he enjoys himself, you know, outside of football. Does his thing, laid back, calm. I like that. Probably Bonazoot, why not? So yeah, Gabriel, Ben White. Someone said Havertz. I might Havertz and try to leave him there. Take his passport and say, yeah. Oh shit, you lost your passport. Oh, brother, we've got to go back, man. But good luck though. No, it wouldn't be Havertz. It'd be Gabriel, Ben White, and maybe Declan Rice. Maybe Declan Rice. Yeah, he's got a good taste in music. I say that because yeah, I grew up with most of my friends are African Caribbean, so there's a similar taste in music there. Afro beats, dancehall, vibes, burner. Yeah, that's it. Gabriel, Ben White, and Rice. I think I'm happy with that. Saka is chill. He is chill, but yeah, I don't know. Saka is chill. Yeah, I mean, Saka's he could be in the conversation. But yeah, he said chaotic road trip. I don't think Saka's a chaotic type of person. So at least with the other ones, if shit hits the fan like sometimes it does on a lad's trip, then you know Gabriel's on it, Ben White's on it, Declan Rice is on it. 4 man up. I'm confident. Cold Penguin says, what would be your thoughts if Arsenal go trophyless again this season? My thoughts would be new manager, please. We need something else. Full stop. Mark says, if you had... Oh, this was already done, this one. All right, people. On that note, let's wrap it up here. Love for the love, though. Listen, 3K, 3.2K on my first live back. Big numbers, big support. We've hit 1,000 likes, so appreciate that as always, people. And like I said, I'm here for just under 2 weeks before I fly off again. But I'll be continuing these lives as much as possible. Once there's enough news to talk about properly like this, we discuss it. But if there's breaking news, I'll break it like I've been breaking it. So make sure you continue supporting those people. Make sure you continue supporting this. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. And I'll be back when I'm back, people. Might be later today, the way this MADUEKE stuff is heating up. But let's hope not. Because yeah, I want that MADUEKE stuff as cold as possible, colder than Cole Palmer. Hey Palmer, speak to your boy. Tell him not to leave. If it's not for MADUEKE, for Matisse, because you know, find me a Chelsea content creator better. And if we sign MADUEKE, then he's gone. Matisse is no longer. Love for the love.